Hi, my name is Mika Tamura, and the sustainable solution that I'll be presenting on is securing land for Indigenous communities. So just for some background information, Indigenous people rely on natural resources and their ability to use the land to survive. Land also holds a lot of cultural, social, historical, and religious significance to Indigenous communities. Um, Currently, Indigenous people make up one-third of the world's poor, but only 5% of the total world population. The issue of poverty is worsened, especially when governments and private corporations come in and exploit Indigenous land. Um, Often, these companies will promise successful economies and flourishing jobs, but often these are really not long-lasting promises. So in this, we see a common theme where a community that contributes the least to climate change, such as the Indigenous community, actually face the worst of climate change's consequences. And this is shown through polluted water, spread of diseases, and less food and resources available for them. Indigenous people actually own more than half of the world's land, but many governments don't recognize the majority of this land as legally belonging to them, which means that it's actually very easy for governments to take away and exploit a lot of Indigenous land. And overall, Indigenous people have a very respectful and non exploitative view of nature. So we need to make sure that there is land secured for them that federal governments cannot come in and exploit. So the solution would be to create more secured land tenure for Indigenous people. This will basically protect Indigenous rights and ensure that they can continue with their non-exploitative practices. Um, and secure land tenure has many proven benefits, such as reducing greenhouse gas emissions, reducing water pollution, reducing erosion, and most importantly, this solution can actually generate billions to trillions of dollars. And we've seen this successfully happen in places like Bolivia, Colombia, and Brazil, where they've tenured a good portion of land for indigenous communities. I've listed out three very general steps towards securing land, but I would like to focus on step two. Um, it's important to make sure that the general public is aware that tenure secure land is a good way to mitigate the effects of climate change. This is just a good way to garner more public support for this solution. In terms of a call to action, even though securing land tenure happens at the federal level, we can still do our part as citizens by using sustainable energy like wind and solar. So this way we aren't giving our money and our support towards large corporations that go and drill and extract natural resources. And um, so what can this mean in the US? So in the States, the indigenous territory um, totals to an area of land roughly the same size as Idaho. So looking at the trends that we've observed in Brazil, where secure land tenure was actually successful, we can conclude that in the US, we can actually decrease carbon dioxide emissions by 6.2 megatons just from securing indigenous land. So to visualize this a little better, this would be potentially equal to more than 1 million less vehicles on the road annually and around 4.8 to $6.6 billion saved through avoiding carbon emissions. All right, thank you.